terrifying mysteries of Cannock Chase. The moon is a sliver above the skeletal pines. You're halfway between the visitor centre and the old German war cemetery. The air smells of damp earth and something ancient. Then a child's voice seeps through the dark. "Can you help me find my mum?" You turn, heart hammering. 10 metres away, a little girl in a threadbare party dress stands in the faint moonlight. Her feet are bare on the freezing ground. Her eyes are oil-black holes that seem to drink your torchlight. She tilts her head, her smile stretching too wide, and whispers, "Let me in." Welcome to Cannock Chase, 30 square miles of ancient woodland that's a picture-perfect postcard by day, but a fever dream after midnight. Today, we're opening 5 case files that chronicle the truly bizarre happenings here, some stretching back to 1879. We're talking black-eyed children, a creature locals call the Cannock werewolf, a British Bigfoot, a downed UFO shrouded in government secrecy, and an ancient hill fort that seems to be a supernatural turnstile. So grab your thermos, keep your torch low, and whatever you do, stay close. The chase has a habit of separating the curious from the sensible, and sometimes it doesn't let them go. Black-eyed children Cannock Chase first earned modern notoriety in 2014 when paranormal researcher Lee Brickley released a chilling witness statement. A lone rambler reported a girl matching the description you just heard approached his car near Birches Valley. Imagine the scene, the isolation, the dark, and then a small, pale figure. She knocked 3 times on his window and asked for a lift. When he refused, she didn't just walk away. She screamed, a guttural, inhuman sound. As her shriek echoed, the car windows fogged over instantly, and the radio flipped to pure white noise. When the mist cleared, she was gone, leaving only bare footprints that vanished abruptly into the trees. Locals link these terrifying children to a few disturbing triggers. One theory points to a diphtheria outbreak in the 1800s that claimed the lives of many children whose bodies were buried in unmarked graves. Another grim possibility ties them to the legacy of Raymond Leslie Morris, a child killer who, in the 1960s, dumped his victims' bodies on these very tracks. But perhaps the most unsettling theory centres on Castle Ring, an ancient Iron Age hill fort. Its eastern ramparts are rumoured to be a soft place where the veil between worlds is thin. Investigators have recorded inexplicable electromagnetic field EMF spikes at the ring, matching spikes reported during black-eyed child encounters, suggesting a shared otherworldly source. Whatever their origin, the pattern is creepily consistent. It's always a lone person after dusk. There's a sudden, inexplicable drop in temperature. Then, the child appears, asking for help, seemingly innocent until you see their eyes. Black voids that absorb light and hope. They instill a profound, primal fear, leaving witnesses feeling physically ill and mentally scarred. One boy chillingly told a forestry worker in 2019, "See you at home." The man was so terrified, he drove 40 miles to his sister's house and refused to return to his own. If you ever have such an encounter, folklore is clear. Do not invite them in. Do not offer them food. Do not touch them. The recommended response is to break eye contact, speak firmly with a command like "go home," and walk backwards until you can safely retreat. Most importantly, believe what you're seeing. Witnesses who dismiss the children as pranks tend to report poltergeist activity for weeks afterwards, as if the entities are punishing their disbelief. The Cannock werewolf. Now we're tracking something bigger and far more primal. In 2006, a postman jogging along old coal route trails saw what he described as a grey, naked man on all fours sprinting across his path. But this was no man. Its limbs were too long, its head was wolf-heavy with a disturbingly long muzzle. It covered 30 metres in an impossible 4 bounds and vanished into the bracken. Authorities later found and photographed distinct paw prints, a 4-toed pad roughly 17 centimetres across, far larger than any native dog. Werewolf stories in Staffordshire predate the Normans. The Domesday Book lists Cannock as Woodwose, a term meaning man of the woods. By the 1800s, parishes recorded livestock found torn apart by something of considerable power. The modern flare-up began in 1975 when army cadets on a night exercise heard howling their sergeant logged as non-canine. Since then, sightings of this creature cluster around the hunter's moon in autumn and the wolf moon in late January, as if its activity is tied to ancient rhythms. Cryptozoologists favour 2 main explanations. One suggests an escaped Eurasian wolf, possibly hybridised with a feral mastiff, creating an apex predator of unusual size and intelligence. The other, more esoteric theory, posits a residual haunt of medieval wolf's head outlaws, banished men who hid in the chase and were declared no more valuable than a wolf. Their desperate, wild existence may have imprinted on the landscape, manifesting as this creature. Walkers deep in the chase sometimes report a thick, suffocating musk. Disturbingly, deer carcasses occasionally appear stripped to the spine overnight, yet no scavengers will touch them, as if they recognise a more dominant hunter. British Bigfoot. You might think Cannock Chase is too small to hide a Bigfoot, but its topography lends itself to concealment. The centre of the chase is a shallow basin carved by glaciers. Running through it are drainage gullies called grumbles that drop 3 metres below sightline, creating natural, hidden pathways perfect for something large to move unseen. The earliest report dates to 1879. A coal trammer saw an hairy man 8 feet high step over a 5-bar gate as if it were a stick. He recalled its eyes reflected his lantern light like glowing coals. More recently, in 1995, a nurse nearly collided with a figure covered in auburn hair with breasts striding across the road. She thought it was a prank until it vanished uphill with impossible speed, convincing her it was no human. Paranormal researcher Nick Redfern interviewed 20 witnesses and found startling consistencies: a strong sulfuric odour, strange tree knocks used for communication, and even rock throwing. One camper recorded unusual whoops on his phone. Spectrogram analysis showed similarities to North American Bigfoot vocalizations, but with a higher frequency, perhaps indicating a related but different species. Skeptics point to misidentified big cats, as sightings of panther-like animals are common, but a panther doesn't snap saplings 8 feet off the ground or leave 48cm barefoot prints in soft clay. A more fascinating theory suggests the Cannock Bigfoot is a tulpa, a thought form manifested by collective belief. Could centuries of wildman folklore have willed this creature into existence? The 1964 UFO crash. The mysteries here aren't just terrestrial. At 2:03 AM on March 7th, 1964, RAF radar tracked a fast-moving, unidentified target. It slowed, made an impossible turn, then dropped off the scope right over the edge of Cannock Chase. Locals reported 2 deafening booms and a brilliant flash of light like magnesium. By dawn, the military had cordoned off a drainage ditch near Penkridge. Witnesses reported seeing a tarpaulin-shrouded, delta-shaped object loaded onto a lorry along with 3 body-sized bags. A man who photographed the object had his film confiscated, and all witnesses were warned under the Official Secrets Act. Decades later, a US Navy petty officer named Jason Bilton came forward. He claimed NATO forces had recovered not just wreckage, but 3 small humanoids from the crash, which were ferried to a secret facility in West Germany. The craft, he alleged, was taken by Defence Intelligence for reverse engineering. The UK Ministry of Defence, of course, maintains it holds no records of any such incident, which only fuels speculation of a cover-up. Since 1964, UFO sightings around the chase have concentrated, particularly near Castle Ring. Orbs of light, silent triangular craft, and a green saucer have all been reported. Some investigators link these to the chase's ironstone deposits, which under geological stress could generate electromagnetic fields and earthlights. Others believe the ring is a portal, a gateway for visitors from other worlds. Castle Ring and peripheral oddities. Castle Ring, an Iron Age hill fort, is the chase's magnetic north for weirdness. Its ditches, dug 2,500 years ago, form a perfect bowl. Clap your hands in the centre and the echo resonates like a heartbeat. Dowsers report powerful energy currents, while skeptics note temperature inversions that create acoustic anomalies. But both groups agree. The place feels watched. Its spectral inhabitants are varied. Ghostly monks have been seen drifting through the earthworks. An infamous white lady hitchhiker appears on lonely roads asking for a lift before vanishing from the passenger seat. In 2020, a couple practicing Tai Chi at dawn recorded a translucent figure of a child skipping in circles. The eerie video gained 2 million views before it was inexplicably buried by the platform's algorithm. If that weren't enough, there are the big cats. We're not just talking blurry photos, but clear, pantherine shapes on trail cams. More disturbingly, 12cm claw marks have been found gouged into pines 5 metres above the ground. Either these cats can levitate, or something with opposable thumbs is climbing trees for a vantage point, adding another layer of mystery to this paranormal landscape. Cannock Chase isn't just a forest, it's a mosaic of micro-environments. Dense conifer plantations give way to open moorland, then dip into bogs and the remnants of Victorian coal tips. Paranormalists love this liminality, this sense of being in between. When habitats overlap so dramatically, it seems timelines do too. 1 minute you're among 19th century beaches, the next you're passing overgrown 1940s bomb craters. History bleeds through. The ground itself is a tapestry of trauma. Roman mines, medieval gallows, and modern murder sites have layered this land with anguish, perhaps acting as a psychic battery for whatever walks here after dusk. Staffordshire police receive, on average, 4 distressed walker calls a month from the chase. Most are mundane, but a significant minority involve people too shaken to rationalise what they saw. While the official stance is calm and rational, privately, officers swap stories of patrol cars stalling inexplicably near Castle Ring, or radios whispering the names of deceased colleagues. Seasoned cops will quietly reroute their night shifts to avoid certain car parks after 1 AM, an unspoken acknowledgement of something they can't explain but deeply fear. That tells you more than any official dossier ever could. Still want to visit? The chase is gorgeous by daylight. Start at the old railway cafe for their legendary bacon baps. Stick to marked trails, especially after 4 PM, when GPS signals can fail. Always bring foil blankets. The temperature can plummet 8 degrees in minutes in a phenomenon locals call chase drop. If thick fog rolls in, stop moving. Sit down and wait for it to thin. Should the black-eyed children approach, remember, no invitation, no contact. Project Confidence. Fear is an invitation. For the werewolf, folklore suggests carrying a small mirror as the creature dislikes its own reflection. A flash of light can also ruin its night vision, giving you a chance to escape. Against Bigfoot, make yourself as loud and human as possible. Sing an embarrassing chart hit, badly. The absurdity might be enough to send it lumbering away. Above all, leave the place as you found it. The chase seems to retaliate against disrespect. Litterbugs report their gear mysteriously breaking and phone batteries draining to 0 in seconds. Treat the forest with respect and you might leave with nothing worse than muddy boots and a great story. Cannock Chase is a mirror. Stare long enough into its depths and something stares back. Whether it's black-eyed kids, a wolf that walks like a man, or lights that defy physics, this forest refuses to be ordinary. It holds its secrets close, but sometimes it lets them out to play. Next time you pass a signpost for the chase, consider a daytime hike, but be warned. When the sun slips behind the pines, the chase remembers every secret you hoped it had forgotten. If this journey into the dark heart of Cannock Chase has chilled you, share it with that friend who brags they're not scared of anything. Let's see how they feel at 2 AM. Drop your own encounters and theories in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more journeys into Britain's eerie corners. Until next time, keep to the lit paths and never invite strangers into your car.